This week, why people buy Victorian homes. The single worst thing you can do when upgrading your home. And how's the market in Hoboken and Jersey City? Welcome to the Brian Murray Show, a real estate show, New Jersey style. I'm Brian Murray, and today's discussion point is why people buy Victorian homes. See, things change all the time. For instance, did you know that the original jack-o'-lanterns were turnips, not pumpkins? Now somebody figured out how to upgrade from turnips to pumpkins. I mean, they're bigger, they're probably easier to work with, they've got all those cool little seeds inside that you can then cook and bake and eat. And I don't know that turnips have those seeds because they're just an awful little thing. And the problem with turnips is that even when you throw them away, they still turn up. So, how things change and why people buy Victorian homes. Because you don't have to change it. That's why people buy it. If you buy a new construction home, in 10, 15 years, you're going to redo the kitchen, you're going to redo the bath. You buy anything modern, it's probably going to be 5, 7 years, and you're going to be redoing things. You're going to be replacing the floors. You're going to keep that modern feel, that modern look. Taste change, what's the definition of what is new and in changes all the time. From white appliances to stainless steel appliances to granite countertops to quartz countertops to wood countertops to wood floor, dark wood floors to light wood floors, from glossy floors to matte floors. Everything changes all the time. Except that Victorian home. It doesn't change. It's supposed to be old. It's supposed to have a certain look, a certain feel. You don't have to update it. You don't have to completely gut it. You just have to maintain it. Literally, that's all you have to do is maintain, maintain, maintain. And it can look 200 years old. And that's okay. The bathrooms can look 50 years old, and that's okay. The real challenge with some of these older homes that are even maintained, I had a listing one time, and the kitchen was impeccable, except it looked like it just came out of an episode of I Love Lucy. You know, it was retro. So what you have is, if you maintain something that's not supposed to be really, really old, like a Victorian home, what you get is retro at some point. First it just is old, and then it's retro. Unless it's like your grandmother's house and it smells like mothballs, then it's just old. And the number one thing that you should never do, if you bought one of these new modern homes, or you have to redo a kitchen, or you have to redo a bath, is pump it in with a lot of technology. Because technology changes all the time. So whatever you put in today is going to feel old a lot faster. And I mean a lot faster. For instance, there's a lot of homes that put in speakers in the walls and in the ceilings and ran all these wires. And now today, everything is wireless. So when you see one of those, it just feels old. It's a pain to get it out. It's just like iPod docking stations in the walls. It feels old. So keep your tech outside of the construction and figure out a way of making things modern with technology, but not necessarily building them in. So this has been today's discussion point on why people buy Victorian homes. This week's hot topic, as always, are the market reports for Hoboken and Jersey City. A look at the numbers and inside the numbers. So let's start here with Hoboken. Currently, there are 370 active condos on the market as of October 27, 2020. That would be 30 new condos in the last week and 144 in the last 30 days. Under contract in the last month has been 80, and the number sold in the last month, 74. Those that sold at a discount on average of 2.2%. So still pretty strong in the list price versus the ask price, although there are some discounts to be had. In Jersey City, there are currently 322 condos on the market. 20 of them have come on in the last week and 133 in the last month. 41 condos have gone under contract in the last month in downtown Jersey City, as well as 47 that sold. And there the discount from list price to sold price is only 1.2%, so a little less of a discount than Hoboken. The real numbers that you want to focus on that tell a picture of not only what happened but what's coming in this report is the number of actives in the last 7 days. In Hoboken it was 30, in Jersey City it was 20. Now if you extrapolate out 20 condos in a week, that would be about 80 for the month, and yet we see 133 for the last 30 days. So definitely a slowdown of what's come on the market. Hoboken, the same thing, starting to slow in terms of the active condos. You're going to see this quote unquote slowdown of the new homes coming on the market, especially as we go forward towards the holidays. Right now, these are the last 2 or 3 weeks to get your home on the market before the season. So you're really the big concern there is that if homes aren't coming on the market, are buyers necessarily coming into the market looking, because they typically are looking for new homes that are coming on. The homes that have not sold in Jersey City, that's about 8 months of inventory, and in Hoboken it's about 4.5 months of inventory. So in Jersey City you're starting to see a widening gap there, that if the homes under contract continue to kind of go at this pace, that it's going to become a buyer's market, according to the fact that a neutral market might be 4 to 5 months or 5 to 6 months, somewhere between 4.5, 6 months. Seller's market is definitely 3 and under, and 8 months is a buyer's market. So that 98.8% may start to fall off. Some of these homes may actually come off the market for the holiday and get repurposed in the spring. They may be rented, or there may be some price reductions coming, and that is certainly true of homes that don't have outdoor space or don't have something very unique to them that would compel a buyer to buy now that they haven't bought in the last 30 days or 60 days. So this has been the market report for Hoboken and Jersey City for October 27th. There's definitely some interesting information there as we go forward. There's some opportunities as well. The good, the bad, the ugly. That's what we're doing this week. Good, bad, ugly. The good, believe it or not, and most people will agree and some people are going to disagree, is moving the clocks back. It's that week where we move the clocks back. I think it used to be later in the season, but right now it is where it is. And so what that really does is it allows for the kids that are going to school to actually walk in the light versus the dark. I mean, for everybody else it kind of sucks, but for those kids that are up early, my kids especially, they go to school, they leave the house, my son leaves the house before 7 a.m. and it's dark. It's just not the best scenario, so it's good that they're moving the clocks back. Hey, that extra hour in most cases, we don't really love it. It's 2020, maybe we would be happy to maybe take that extra hour in 2021 instead. Maybe we can do that. Let's not do anything now, and let's move 2 hours in 2021. Just a thought out there. The bad thing is that I'm going to miss kids trick-or-treating at my door this Halloween. It's like I live in a building where it's not the same as the, maybe a brownstone or somewhere where they can socially distance and with the candy and that kind of thing. Miss all the costumes, so if people do have costumes and photos, certainly post them to my social sites so that I can definitely see the kids in the costumes, because that's it's a bummer. And then the ugly is, at the time they're considering $1,000 fine for house parties. It's not really targeted towards Halloween, but it's coming right up on that time as well. And not that I care one way or another about the house party itself. I just think that that if we're encouraging people to behave a certain way, that there should be some incentives and not fines, especially that they're going to be targeting maybe some of the younger people and not incentivizing everybody to do a lot more promotion of responsible behavior. I think that you're going to really get into some areas where 25 people maybe isn't really doing anything versus 50 versus 100 versus. I just think that maybe fines aren't the way to go on that, and that we can find a better way of getting what we want. So that's the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm going to leave you with some words of inspiration here now that we do have an extra hour from Earl Nightingale. If you don't know who he is, I do recommend that you check him out. He was really one of the first motivational guys out there, for decades. He was on the radio, really kind of old school, but kind of really interesting guy. And he said, if you spend an extra hour each day of study in your chosen field, you will be a national expert in that field in 5 years. So it's like basically take that extra hour each day in your chosen field or topic, and in 5 short years you'll be a national expert. If you think about the 10,000 hour rule that they talk about for being proficient or world class at something, versus basically what he's talking about is an hour a day, say 350 times 5, maybe about 1,750 hours of real study in something. You could be an expert in that whatever that something is. So I think that we could start with that extra hour we're going to get this week, and that could be day 1 for you. And look, it didn't even cost you anything to start. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. This has been The Brian Murray Show. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all episodes of The Brian Murray Show are on my website at themurraypropertygroup.com in the blog section. I do appreciate you following me on my Instagram, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, giving comments, giving feedback. I really do love it and appreciate it. And as always, if there's anything that you disagree with in today's show, please reach out to me directly and I'll show you why you're wrong. Thank you for watching.